So hi everybody and welcome back. This is the Unreal Engine 5 tutorial series for absolute beginners. This is video 135 and in this video we continue with our interfaces. In the first video I created here this interface in our interface folder. But in this video, before I go on with implementing the interface, I want to show you the alternative way, or one of the alternative ways, because there are many ways how you can implement blueprints and communicate with blueprints to each other. And in this video I want to demonstrate you when I start here this game. My character is walking to this collision box, and you see here behind the scene this light, this green light. It will be turned off. And I set this up because it's a very easy demonstration. And later we will convert this to an interface. And yeah, let's get started. First of all, how we set this kind of setup up. So how we can make this. This collision box, of course, is not visible normally. I made it visible so I know exactly where I have to walk into. And yeah, let's get started. First of all, I go to my interface folder. I created a new folder. It's called No Interface. And in No Interface, I created the both blueprints. The one is this collision box blueprint, and the one is this point light blueprint with a point light. So let's start with this point light. Let's go here. Here's nothing. Sorry for that. And in point light, I have right now no code. There, because it's just I will just turn it off. But in the viewport, what I set up is here on the right side, you can on the left side you can see in components I just added a point light. That's it, no more, no less. So this blueprint is very simple and straightforward, and that was it. After this one you can close this, and then you go here to your content browser, right click and create another actor. Both are the same blueprint, both are blueprint actors. And then I created here this blueprint actor trigger box, and I called it trigger activate all. And in viewport first I set it here to here on the left again. I go to components, I added this box. It was a collision box. If you write here col, then you have here the different collisions. And I added this box collision here, and on the right side, after I selected this box here, I changed the scale. I made it a little bit big. You can change the scale here with the scale, or normally you should use this box extend because it's made for this one in this shape section here. And then I set it to 100, 100, 100. You can even set the thickness here. Interesting. For example, you can see I can change the line thickness, and you have here some other options probably too, but let's keep this on 0 because that's not so important in my case. And then what I did also is, like I showed you before, to show it in game while we are developing. So I want to see this box here in game. I wrote here hidden on top, and then it pops up this menu which says hidden in game, and I have unchecked it because I want to see it while we are developing. I want to see it this in game. Later, don't forget to reset this one. And yeah, that's it for the viewport. And now let's go to the coding section where this box here and this light here, these two blueprints are communicating. My goal is, like I said, I walk with my character in, and then the box reacts to my character and says, okay, now I know you want to turn off this light. That's the game logic. And yeah, let's go to this. Here in my blueprints, I switch to the event graph. And before I switch to the event graph, let's go back to our viewport again. All collision box have so-called events. When you select your collision, this box here is my collision box. It's this box which you can see in the middle. Then you go right to the details panel. You scroll down, 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 and then you have here generated events. If this was selected in defaults, and by default, collision box generates these events here. All right, and then I selected here in my example on component begin overlap. I clicked on it, and then we jump to this event node, which means just this box will now react to an overlap. It can be anything, so we have to specify it, and then After this one, I called it collision block reacts to overlap. Yes, I just said it, but we have to specify to what exactly. And then I made it from this other actor here. I said you should react exactly to my character. And after I wrote here character infinity, this is my BP infinity character, but it will say automatically cast to it, because this cast means I specify exactly what this actor here is. Because this actor here, what you can see here, can be anything. And when we cast to a special actor, in this case, my character is also an actor, I specified it to what it should react. So it will only react when my character walks over it, I walk in, you see, then it reacts this light here. But if anything else walks in, it will not turn off this light, for example, in this case. So after this one, we can go on and see this white line says now what you want to do after that. So after I realized, yes, you are the character, what you want to do. And my goal is to turn off this light after my character walked in. But the problem is with this turn light is I'm right now here in the trigger box, right? When I go here, I work with the trigger box. Of course, you can call these functions from different places. In my case, I called it within this trigger box for simplicity. And the problem now is I need a connection to this blueprint here, which I placed here. And I need exactly this blueprint here, not this static mesh or other blueprints which are in my scene. So we have to find a way to select this anyhow, right? And there are different ways, because one way would be interface, which we will do in the next video probably. And in this video, I show you the alternative way which you can use too. And there are many ways, I think, but let's go on. You heard probably of the node get all actors of class. This get of all actors of class means this node will search now all actors which you have specified as a class, which means I said, okay, I know in this scene are many actors. I know here in this outline, I can see there are many actors, different kinds. There is a blueprint actors, there are FX something like, and whatever, static mesh actors, and so on. Now, these actors will try to search for only actors here, but you can specify which class you want. Class means just the base type of this actor, because what you can see here are instances of the class, which means just the, let's say, the use case in this case, because we can see it exactly here. The class is here more the type here, the right side. When we, for example, I click now here this lamp, the type, the class is the right side here. You can see it says here BP light. This is our class. And the left side, this name here is our instance name. So class name here, instance name here. So we can distinguish them. All right. And this get all actors of class will try to find all class names, which means this side here, this type here. It will search all time. And now I can specify it easy. I can say, okay, I'm interested in only in the blueprint light here. Yes, here in this one. I'm not interested in the static mesh here. So, and if you can do this, you specify exactly this one here. You write your BP class, and then we are finished with this here. One more thing. Here, the output of this node here, after you specify this one, it will find not the class, it will give you the output instances of the class, which means I said before, the type is this class here, right? Here, this side here. But I specified this one here, and it will give you the left side here, the instance here, BP light, exactly what is in our level. So this one here. That's very nice, and you will see why I distinguish this in a moment. But let's continue. So after this, we know we get a list here. That's very important too. This symbol here is an array. Array means just a list. A list means just one. You can think about it just, let's see, I show you an array here. Look this, what happens here with this outliner when I duplicate this and duplicate this. And you see we have now here, let's say this looks like a list, right? I start here on top. 0, 1, 2, and this array here, this array symbol here, does exactly the same. It will give you this these three names as in an array, and you can treat them exactly like a list. All right, I hope that's so clear, and let's go to the next part. So we have finished this section here, and then we have to specify which element we want, because like I said, this output here is an array. Array means like a list, and a list has normally more elements, and then we use normally, this is one way to use it, get. You can use this get copy node in many cases, but there are also you can use a loop too. We will talk about loop later. And if you use this get means get me one element, for example, in this case, and this one element you can specify. And important is here, that's very irritating for non-programmers, that it starts with 0, because array starts with 0 normally. Like I said before, we have here, let's show here a list again, and when you count this list here, for example, a non-programmer starts with 1, 2, 3, but programming an array starts with 0, 1, 2. So the first element is 0, just because they started strangely. So don't worry about it. This is just 0, the start point. And that's why you most times see here this element 0. If you want the first element, you have to write 0, because it's a start point. Okay, with that said, we specified that, and then I get one of these elements from this list here. And in this case, in my case, special case, let's watch this one again, this blue this lamp here, I have right now only one. So it's very easy. It will find exactly this one here. Like I said, the class will find this one, and it will print out in its array this one, and there is no more right now. So this one will be the right one. So let's go to the next point. After I have now my blueprint, careful, don't make the mistake that you have this point light now, because you have the blueprint. Why is this a mistake? The mistake is here. This one looks like just a point light when you click on it, because you are interested in the light, but actually you selected just the blueprint itself. What I mean with that, if you create a blueprint, this one, let's go to the viewport here. The blueprint itself is on top, and then we created this. This is the wrong one. Let's go to the collision light one. Here. So the blueprint itself, we get the blueprint itself is on top. So we have not this light, but I'm interested when I interact here with my character on this light. So when I start, I want to turn off the light, not the blueprint, but you can perhaps destroy the blueprint. It's also one way to get rid of it, because this is another way, but we don't want to destroy the blueprint. Then we have to spawn it, and that takes too much code. Instead, we just turn off the light and on. It's easier. That's why we need one more step here. We are here on top now. We need now get access to this component. And after we get access to this component, we can turn it off and on, because this light has similar like a switch, which is called here visibility, where you can turn it off and on. So how we make this? We go back to our get all class node. Here we have selected the blueprint. So at this point we have just the blueprint, right? And I want now access this component. And then after you here with this node here, you can drag it out and say, give me blueprint, give me your component. And then you can ask here something in this blueprint. And then you will try to search this one. And how you make this, you write here, for example, in my case, it's called point light. So my component here, it's called point light. Then I will drag down where it says variable defaults. Most time it's down, because there are many things with other light. You can see point light has many options here, where what you can add to this point light, or you can call this point light, or can set this point light. But we are directly interested in this point light, because this function, what you see here, it's also possible they get the point light for you and jump directly for set visibility anywhere. But we go step by step. That's why I get me first the point light, and then I search for set visibility. But you can of course search this one a little bit faster than me when you find it directly. But in this way you know exactly where you are, because now I know I'm here in this point light, and now I have access to these properties here. And one of these properties is called visibility, which is turning off. This visibility is set by default. Oh, and I want set this off later per code, so the light turns off. And how I make this? So I go back. I have now access to the component, which is this one. And now I have set to the component. Now I'm talking exactly to this component and say, turn me off this light here, please. And how I make this? From this components point here, I drag out and say set visibility. Like I said, now you have access when I'm here in component in point light to all to its properties. And then I said set the visibility, and here important is here that you have to set this one on or off, one of them. In my case, I want to turn it off, and that's it. That is one alternative way to set this up. And the result is when I go in, the box reacts to my character. The box talks now to this light blueprint, then it finds its component and it turns off. That's perfect. But here we have a problem. And the problem is, when we watch our code again, what happens if I have not one point light? In this get all actors of class, I said this one get you just a class right here. When we watch this outliner, only the right side, it will, and this left side, it will list here in an array. So what happens when I make here more lights with the same type? Here it is still the same point light, right? Let's make here one, and I make here one. So now I have 3 of them. Or let's make this one not. This is too close here. Let's bring in a little bit back there. Okay, now I have 3 of them. So we have a problem here, because let's say I want to turn off all lights at once. Is this working? Probably not when I ask like this, right? But let's see. So when I start this one, and you see it's only turning off one light. And the reason is very simple. Like I said, this actor of class get me just this one get me all the actors here. For example, in this case, it will get me all 3 here. But the selector node here, what I get here, this one selects only one of them right now with this coding setup. And there are, let's say, a way how you can even turn off all and on. Very simple. Even with this setup, we have just to write here. Instead, we make use of for each loop. For each loop means go through all elements which you found in this list here. So this loop will go through all elements. Let's write here comment, go through all elements in the list. Something like that. I make it not so accurate with this comment here, just that we get an understanding. So, and now I can get this. I probably copy just this one because this is the same. I make here Control C, Control V here on top, or there is a shortcut WV, I think, or not WV. There was a shortcut at least any time. You can set it, just select one, and then there is a shortcut just to press one key that it's duplicating it. All right, with that said, I copied this one here, but here is one more thing what I have to do, which is here. I select this one here, and you can see what I did now is all elements will be turned off, because this for each loop goes to all elements. This one is just selecting one element. This one is going through all elements. Let's go compile, save this one, start this one, and now I have looked these 3 elements here, and they are not turned off. And why not? Let's see what happens here. Let me see what happens here. Ah, yes, of course not, because I should also connect this white line here. Makes sense, right? Sorry, that makes absolute sense why they are not turned off. So now one more time, you can see I just forgot to connect this white line here. So let's try it one more time, and you see now all are off like we expected it, because this loop here goes through all elements, which means all this one here, and turn off, turn off, turn off. So, and before I continue, let's make one more example, which is let's select this one as well. And there is one more example, and the problem is here. Okay, now I can select all at the same time off, or I can select one of them. But the problem is, what is if I want exactly select this one here? And that means if I want select only one, but the problem is I don't know which one it is in the list, right? So I want select this one. When I just make this one here run in, it's still selecting this one. It's the first one. Then I have to figure out anyhow this element here, and that can be really annoying, but there is a way, of course. There is an old-timer way. We have only to find it, but there is also an easier way, and that's the next node we learned here with this get all actors of class. Let's make it here on top. So I want select just specific point light. So we are using still here when we write on type the BP class here, but now I want just select a specific one, and perhaps I have here 100 lights and I don't know how to distinguish them. And the one way is, for example, you can also drag here something out and call again get all, nope, not this one. All right, sorry, I see I made a mistake. I have to use let's connect this one back here. Connect this one back here. I have to cut this off actually, because I use here a new node. Let's put this one here, and the new node is here just again get all actors of class. I call it get all actors, but this time not here. We have options, right? Look what options we have. Get all actors of class. That what I used, but you can also use here get all actors of class with tag, or get all actors with interface. This is the next one which we made in the other video, and get all actors with tag. So, and important is this tag system here. If you don't know what the tag system is, it just it means just you can give every actor a special name, and then you can use this name to identify what you want to do with it. And that's actually solving my problem, because I said I want only activate this one, but I don't know which one of this. Let's say we have here hundreds of lights, which one it is. And if I want make something like that, I say, okay, let's give this actor a special name, and then I can use this special name to turn it off and on. And here with this one we can make it, but there are of course other ways too. And here it's similar to get all actors of class. First of all, you say which type you want. For example, here I say I'm interested not in static mesh type, I'm interested not in other actors here in my scene, I'm just interested in point light type, which means here on the right side this time it's my point light blueprint. All right, then after you specify this one, let's specify it BP point light. So I'm only in the okay, that was not there what I have called it. BP light. In my case, I called it BP light. It's not even point light, because we can see it here. BP light is the type. Okay. Then I have to specify the name which I want identify. In this case, this one here would identify even a group. All the lights who have this tag name, it will find them. But in our case, in my case, I say just let's call this one name. Let's point light choose one, or something like choose this. Let's choose this light, and I copy this name because I need this one again. Copy, Control C, enter. So I have this one, this name must be the same. And now important is, before I go on and connect here something, that you go to the blueprint, what you want to select. For example, I say here, I want this point light here. Then you select this blueprint here. It's this one. Then you go here to the details panel, and then you go here and write on top, for example, the tag, or you just search tag. And then you will see that in the section actor in advanced part, so probably you will not find it if you just search it. But let's go here the normal way. Here's the actor, and here you have to go to the advanced part here. And then here in advanced part, you will find this tags here. That's very important. And here in tags, I write here tag, so we have more, it's easier to see. So tag. Here in tags, there is again this plus symbol, and this plus symbol means again an array, which means you can have different kind of tags for one blueprint or for one actor, and that's nice. Which means you can set different search criteria. That's absolute really good for distinguishing different lights again to different lights and so on. So in my case, I use I paste in exactly the name what I give. Choose this light, but let's make you one more fun fact. Let's choose here choose this. Let's write it. Choose this. Oh, let's name my other thing for other use. And here you can see we can have more tags, and that's very nice. So we can select them. All right, and now we save this one, and now our actor here, our instance has this tag here, and we can compile. And this one here is now similar to this one here. What happens there? The only difference is it will now print out here as array like the other one here. It's similar to this one exactly. The only difference is it will find all actors which has this tag here on. So which has only this tag on. So how we can show this? I just copy this line here, because that would take too much time now to make it again. And let's paste it here on top. And why is this not there? Copy, paste. I don't know. So we have this one here, and here I connect this one. Let's go here on top. Let's go here. Let's write here also a comment and call it find search for all BP light instances, but with the tag specified. So you can see this comment here is exactly the same like this one, only I added but with the tag specified. Here it's just the instances with the type, and here we have the specified tag. So, and here we connect this one here, and here, like I said, this one will get here the first element in this case. And because I specified exactly the one which I want, for example, doesn't matter, there is only one on top in my case. And this is also, of course, you can have here more options. Like in programming, you have many options how you can change this one or use other ways around. But let's test this now. And we start now. It should only turn off this on top, and you can see, oh, this one is turned off. That's nice. And there are probably much more ways and much more combinations and much other things as well. But here I stop with this alternative way. And now I want to show you in the next video how we can use this one converted into interfaces. Instead using this one, we use interfaces. And then one more note here. The reason why I showed you this one is probably you will not avoid this all time, because interfaces are cool. in most time very good, but you can't use interfaces all time. That is the reason why we need this one as well. And I wanted to compare later also interfaces for this one. What are the advantages? What are disadvantages? So we needed the setup here to understand later. Interfaces are a little bit easier, and that's why I made this video. And with that said, I stop here. If you have any questions or any complaints like old time or any suggestions and something else, write it in the comment. See you in the next video. Bye, good luck, and have fun.